This exhibit is sponsored by the Fresh from Florida Division of the Commissioner of Agriculture and Consumer Services Office, and it is the celebration or commemoration of Viva Florida 500, which recognizes, it's a statewide recognition this year, recognizing the 500 years of influence of the Spaniards on the discovery, or the Ponce de Leon's discovery of Florida in 1513. This exhibit is specific to agriculture in the state of Florida, the 500 years of development of agriculture. And it is called Agriculture Then and Now. The exhibit includes, it represents information about all the different aspects of agriculture in the state of Florida. Nursery plants and row crops, citrus of course, cattle and timber. Of course, the turpentine industry was a very important part of our industry early on. Livestock, aquaculture. We remember that part of our agriculture is the things that we harvest from the lakes and the streams and the sea. And then also behind this precious general store is an exhibit of vegetables with some learning experiences and questions for our visitors, young and old, to learn about vegetables and strawberries and the very important role that bees play in pollinating and helping things to grow and bloom. It's interesting that La Florida was named by Ponce de Leon, as he was so impressed with the flowers that were blooming at the time of his arrival. So this exhibit goes back in time, this 500 years, and recognizes the development and the growth of agriculture in Florida from the period 1513 to the present. The exhibit is very interesting for adults because there's a lot of historical information about the development of agriculture in the state of Florida. And it's appealing, it's colorful and entertaining for adults, but then certainly for children it's interactive. A saddle and a sawhorse to climb up on and get the sense of being in a cattle drive, learning about what it's like to pick citrus off a tree and dump it in a picking sack, what it feels like to touch livestock fur, what it feels like and to touch and feel that, to read and learn about different crops and the benefit that they have to our health and wellness. They learn about the Spanish brands, the process of branding that the Spaniards introduced, and then they get a chance to make their own brand. So it's for adults and young children. This exhibit is entitled Spanish Pathways. It is an exhibit that was prepared by and created by the Florida Humanities Council. This exhibit depicts the influence of Spanish culture and the interaction between the two cultures upon the discovery of Florida by the Spaniards in 1513 and beyond. And although the commemoration is about the remembering the discovery of Florida by Ponce de Leon's voyage of discovery, the important thing about this exhibit is that it brings the visitor into an opportunity to experience and learn and think about the interaction of those two different cultures, you know, the European influence into an existing area where we had native families living in this site. So Spanish Pathways is early 1513 through pretty much contemporary time, the Spanish heritage and Spanish influence in Florida. We have some artifacts that are on loan from a collector over in the Tampa area, and some of the items on display are some buttons and buckles and things that were left behind by the conquistadors as they traveled through the state of Florida. And then we also have some other items in the exhibit that include items from their uniform. The exhibit is open during the hours of the museum, and the History Center is open Tuesday through Saturday, 9 to 5, and the exhibit will be in place until mid to late August.